Deborah.
The year is almost over.
It is almost over.
Did you say hello, Deborah?
I don't know. I did. You know, it's funny. I don't know if you do this on purpose or if
Uh,
this is just happens every time, but every time I do that, I say, "Hey, Debbie, what's up, Deb?" Or, Deborah. When I throw out the weird random names like that, you don't notice it at first. And I feel like you're trying to take away my joy from like the instant reaction. Like I always get like the delayed reaction. I want like the in the moment, like what's wrong with you? But I never get it. I can't tell if you're doing it on purpose or if you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. Either way, I'm offended.
Um, I'm just a little slow, plain and simple.
All right. Well, that puts a nice little bow on that conversation. How are you, Deb?
I'm good. How are you? I'm just battling a little bit of a cold. Just a little tiny one. I'm walking around all day saying I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I think it's working. I think
Okay.
I definitely feel better than I did this morning. So it's working. And I haven't taken any medicine today.
Oh, good. Uh, yeah, that's a bummer because you're right. You're right in the middle of your break.
I know. It's
Actually, when we're recording this, you're at the beginning of your break, really.
mhm.
So hopefully you get over it quickly.
Yeah.
If you were sick, you're not really sick though.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
So I'm not sick at all here. Good. I'm doing swell. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah,
Good.
I'm good. I do not have a break, but everything is going very well. Obviously, we just recorded our Christmas episode, which was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And speaking of which, if you listen to that episode, you'll know that we did an ugly sweater swap. We gave each other ugly sweaters to wear for the episode. And Deb picked out an awesome sweater. It was very funny. Had a Santa and his elf lifting cookie tires. It was very funny. A little small. We don't need to discuss that again. And but she kept saying that she had one that she ordered. It just didn't come in time, and which is kind of funny. Uh, didn't do that on purpose, but that worked out well. Um,
But
so, anyways, I decided she sent me the sweater that she originally ordered because it came between our last episode and tonight's recording, and so I thought I'd wear it. So give me 1 second.
if you're watching the YouTube version, you can look on the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
So
What is?
I'll
Go ahead.
describe it. It's basically Michael Scott from The Office making a face, and at the top it says Santa's coming, and then at the bottom it says that's what she said.
Which is awesome because, as we've said on the show before, you and I are huge Office fans,
Yeah.
and this is an awesome sweater. So, but kind of in line with mine too, the mermaid sweater. I guess we both got sweaters that were kind of awesome, not really ugly sweaters.
I know. Well, the one that I got you by accident, just to present to you,
Yeah,
that was that was the most original ugly sweater, just because it had the texture of the ugly sweater. It had a bell on it and stuff. So that was
right.
probably the ugliest.
And
But
the
I'll,
artwork, like as funny as the artwork was, it was ugly, and so but it was very funny. I actually told Rachel, I said it probably worked out better because
yeah.
this one's just awesome. The one you got me, just for the sake of like content, way better. So, you know, I got
It
two
worked
sweatshirts
well.
out of it. It was
Like,
awesome. Yeah,
did you notice how I left it as a gift this time with in a gift bag?
you did. Now let me ask you this: would you have done that if I didn't give you so much crap on the Christmas episode?
No, probably not.
You would have just left your work bag. It's like, hey, please return this when you're
I
done.
know. Please give me I'll just stick it in a paper bag like a Rayleigh's plastic
Yeah.
bag. Here you go.
It's like, hey, someone left groceries at our door. What is this? Oh no, it's an ugly sweater. Must be Deb.
Or I would have left it in the Amazon packaging.
Yeah.
There you go. I would have thrown it on your porch as I drive by instead
Yeah.
of just placed it nicely on your porch.
Just
Just like,
hit our decorations. Like, hey,
yeah.
how dare you? Especially if you threw the Amazon package, it still has your address on there. It's like,
I
oh,
know.
we know who did this.
Names on it. Exactly. Well, I'm glad it came before, this episode. That was nice.
Yes, 100%. So it's very nice. It's very
Nice.
warm.
Nice.
Which I told you I don't typically wear sweaters on. Definitely not during the podcast, but really in general, I don't wear too many sweaters. So I might pass out. I might lose some weight. Speaking of
Are
New
you?
Year's resolutions, this might help me, like a sauna suit. Actually, have you seen? So, do you remember Lem Adams,
Mhm.
the owner of Game Fit?
Yeah.
So I forgot what the relationship is, but he has, I want to say it's a family, like maybe a cousin or someone he's connected to that owns a company called Shred Skins. Have you seen these before? Shred Skins.
That sounds familiar.
It's basically like a plastic sauna suit, and so all of their videos on Instagram are basically people after their workouts tearing it open and just all like this whole like
Oh,
puddle of sweat coming out. It's kind of awesome. I haven't tried one yet, though. I want to,
that would be
but
a nice little detox thing.
yeah, and
Oh,
it collects a lot of sweat. It's pretty gross.
woo. You'd have to get super hydrated afterwards, I imagine.
I would guess so. Yeah. So, and I don't even know. I mean, do you know anything about sauna suits?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, me neither. It
I don't
just
know how
looks
they
they look
work.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know what they're made of or how they work or any of
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
never
maybe
been.
I'll try one. I'll give it a shot.
Okay, you have to
But
let
I
me
need
know.
to. Here's the thing, and I've told myself this. I want to try it, and I do want to post one of the videos of me actually using it. Here's the problem, though. I am not comfortable yet posting a shirtless picture.
So,
So,
so you wear it like there's you. Then you open it and like you're shirtless when you take it off,
right,
basically. Yeah.
right, right. So, I've seen the dudes they post pictures of. It's not me. So, maybe one day I'll feel comfortable enough doing it. At this moment, no, it's like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at the Pillsbury Doughboy. Try one of our sauna suits.
Hey, everyone starts somewhere. No one
Yeah,
just anymore. It's fine.
that's not fine, but that's okay. No, I can't do that because then Deb makes a TikTok about it, which would be frustrating for me because I appreciate when Deb sends me TikToks for us to post. It's like, oh, she created content for us, but it's at my expense. What do I do? You know what I mean? So then it'd be a huge dilemma, and there'd be a good chance that I post it. So I can't send that out into the world yet. So
Okay. Well, when you're ready, we can do
thank
it.
you, thank you.
Are
He's
you?
not
Oh,
a
go ahead.
counselor.
No.
Whenever you're ready to share, Josh, the floor is yours. It's like an AA meeting. Yeah, I had 5 donuts today and 2 cookies, and I'm feeling very fat. Thank you, Deb.
That sounds like my day. Like there's on the last day of school. There's one day where I literally like just had pizza and donuts, and like that was my diet that day.
Yeah. And you know what? Because you always hear people talk about how that when they're trying to get in shape and they have that food, and they're always talking about like, there's that battle, right? Like they know if they don't eat it, that if they can get past it, the temptation, they're going to feel really good, right? And they're like, I'm glad I did it. No one ever talks about like the moment you're actually eating the food. It's like it's pretty awesome. It's like no one's saying like this is a bad idea. It's like this tastes delicious. It's not until afterwards that you regret the decision. But in the moment, no one ever talks about that. There's not much regret going on. I feel pretty good about myself.
It's true.
Yeah. So enjoy your end of the year stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah.
My best. Yes.
All right. Well, we hit a wall on that
I'm
topic.
just thinking of donuts now, so that's all. I'm like, when can I get a donut next?
What's your favorite donut?
Just glaze, just regular glaze, like the
Just
white.
regular glazed. Okay. I I like those, but I do like the cake donuts with sprinkles. I'm a child.
Me too.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Yeah, it's always nice. There's a couple of different donut spots that I've gone to that because like sometimes you'll see these lists. Sometimes at the end of the year, like a New Year's type thing, where they're like, "Oh, this is the best donut of the year," and you taste them. Sometimes like it's like any other donut. Like I don't see the difference. But it's nice when you find a donut spot that actually has a different tasting donut. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this one actually, I understand why this one got such high reviews because it actually does taste different and better than other donuts.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they can taste different, especially crispy. What do you think of Krispy Kreme? Are you pro or con?
I'm pro. I'm pro. I like Krispy Kreme. Here's the thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Deb. Go ahead.
No, I haven't had it in a while, but
Yeah,
I've never not liked it.
yeah,
They're super rich though, so I can only have a couple. Like a regular like donut from like your neighborhood donut shop, they're just so light and fluffy. I could eat like 10 of them. And the Krispy Kreme, I feel like they're so rich that I could two and like I'm good.
That's
Like,
funny. Well, I guess that's kind of different for us because of the donuts that we like
yeah,
at donut shops. Like with you liking the glazed donut, like the glazed raised donut, that is lighter. Me, I like the cake donuts.
right.
So those are pretty dense and they're denser than Krispy Kreme. But it is funny because I feel like people that don't like Krispy Kreme talk about how they feel like they're eating nothing because it's like they're super sweet, but they feel like they're just eating like air pockets. And
Like dissolves in your mouth.
right. And I like that. I like that. I like the taste of them. They're delicious, especially when they're warm. Yeah. So I do like Krispy Kremes, uh, probably more than I should. Actually, Jordan, this is like years and years ago, uh, sent me a link to this. And I don't know if they still do it. I'd have to look it up. And I think it was in one of the Carolinas. It was actually a Krispy Kreme run where you would, you would run, I think 1 or 2 miles and then you would basically run to a Krispy Kreme shop, eat a dozen glazed donuts, and then run back. And that was the race.
Like you eat like I eat a dozen by
Yeah,
myself.
one
Really?
person. Yeah.
I
So,
need to try this race.
oh, I couldn't do it. I don't think I think I would I think I would struggle going back.
I think I could do it.
You wouldn't throw up?
I don't think so.
That's pretty good. I think I would. I think I would. Or I would just yeah, I don't think I could do it.
Dozen's a lot, actually.
But
Maybe
a lot of
like
people point out they
yeah,
are Krispy Kremes though. Well, but see that's different because you're thinking that Krispy Kremes are really rich. For me, I'm like Krispy Kreme would probably be the best donut to do it with because they're so light.
I need to try a Krispy Kreme donut again because I don't remember what like how. And you know how when you get older, your taste not your taste buds, but like things just change, like how things sit in your stomach and how you metabolize things. And
Yeah,
try it
that's
again.
actually that's a great top five. That'd be a really good top five. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I don't know how I'm not sure the title would be, but um like the top five things that you like remembered differently,
Oh yeah.
right? That's actually pretty good.
You have to table that.
Yeah, because I'm sure I could think of five things. Like you said, when you're a
I could.
kid, like this is the best thing ever, and then like an adult, you're like, huh, my like younger me was an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the opposite. Like you hate it as a kid and you love it as an adult.
That's a good. That's we'll have to think of a name for that. That's very well done. Look at that, ending the new year strong with some ideas. I like it.
Um, yeah, okay. We'll have to talk about that. Do you want to talk about that in this episode or a different one?
No, we'll save it. We'll save it. We'll save that top. We'll make it a whole top five.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we'll go off on that one, I bet.
yeah. Can I ask you a random question?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why this just hit me. This is gonna sound weird. How do you decide? How do you decide how you wear your hair for these episodes?
It's just this is how I don't change
Is it
it.
just whatever it is?
Just whatever I've been wearing it for the day.
All right. I don't know why. I don't know why that just hit me. Anyway,
My ponytail is a little more off to the side.
that's why. That's what's throwing me a little
Oh,
bit.
this is how I got off the couch.
Okay.
I was leaning when I leaned my head against the couch, it
It
like
just
put,
goes to the side.
and so I just got up. I'm watching the Harry and Meghan documentary. And so I just paused it and set up my stuff and just sat down here and opened
All
Zoom.
right. Cool.
And
Now
on
just
other nights, I come back from boxing and whatever it looks like after boxing is that's what you get.
there we go. I'm not complaining. I was just curious. And like you said, maybe it is because it's to the side.
To the side.
That will be the start of the end of this podcast. If I'm like, you know what, if you could do your hair differently for the podcast, that would be fantastic. Like that would be like micromanaging this whole podcast to a different level. And it's like, all right, see ya. I'm out.
Getting high maintenance for me then.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially for me, like nothing I can do about this. It is short. That's why I keep it that way. It makes my life so much easier.
There you go.
I can tell it gets long because when I'm done with these podcasts and I take the headphones off, they're like this valley across my head. It's just like the matted hair. It's like, oh, you know what? It's time for a haircut. This
There
is
you
not
go.
good. Anyways, no one wants to hear about this. This
Are
is
you
a
gonna wear your Christmas sweater to Christmas? Like if your family Christmas?
yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will.
They'll appreciate it, yeah.
My family would think it's very funny. Yeah. I'm not sure how Rachel's family would feel.
Are you guys all, you're going to see both of them on the same day?
No. I think we're going to be doing something with Rachel's family
Oh,
later.
okay.
Yeah, later. Just that's the way it worked out this year. So, but yeah, no, I'll wear it for my family. They'll appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Speak.
You have to tell me how that goes. This will have aired after Christmas though, I think, this episode.
Yeah, this will probably air on the 27th, I think. Yep. So this will be our last episode before the new year. So it's very exciting. Which, by the way, this will be our last episode before the new year, and this is basically our last episode before we do our guest of the year tournament, which I'm so excited for. It's I love it so much. It's so much fun. I've got some different ideas this year to help explain things, but I'm really excited too. This is our first time, and it feels weird because we've always talked about how long it feels like we've been podcasting even longer than it has been, but this will actually be our first time doing the tournament twice for the same podcast, because the first time we did it was for Character Combine, and then we ended up not doing Character Combine shortly after that, and then last year we did it for Connectable for the very first time, and so a whole different audience and all of that. So I'm interested to see what it will look like this year. Once now it's kind of an established thing. You know what I mean?
Question,
Yes.
unless I don't know if I'm supposed to ask you this on air, but are we going to take guests for the 2 years or from last year too, or is it only guests from 2022?
It's only 2022. So yeah, we do it by the calendar year. So I don't have the dates in front of me,
That's
but
fair.
basically,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, it's just easier that way, especially when it comes because basically, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. I'll probably do a video like I did last year with explaining some of the rules and kind of how we do things, because it's just the simplest way. But basically, just a quick explanation. We split the year in half. So basically January 1 to July something, whatever. I looked it up, whatever the halfway mark is in the summer. Um, that's one side of the bracket, and then the other side of the bracket is July something to December 31st. And so we that's how we decide who's on which side. And then we take the top 16 guests from each side, and I try to explain this every year. It's based on downloads. So how many downloads that person's episode got. It's not how we feel about you. It's not how we decide to rank you. The numbers speak for themselves. So we put everybody in order. We match them up that way, and then we just put it out to a vote on Instagram. The last 2 years we've done a tournament for these different podcasts. We've done a combination of Instagram story voting and Facebook. I'm not doing that again, because every year there's always a problem on Facebook, and people either get upset or people are like, "It's you didn't tell me." I did tell you. I've told you multiple times this entire process. I can't keep doing this. So I know it's a bummer because it kind of adds a fun little twist to it, but we're not doing that again. I can't do it. So I can't keep answering these questions over and over and over. What's that?
Instagram then?
Just Instagram. It will just be on Instagram stories. So if you don't have Instagram, I'm very sorry. You could always start one or ask your friend to vote for you. But it's the most fun thing that we do, because people get really into it. Like people get really into it, and people are lobbying to get more votes from other people. People are sharing their friends' podcast episodes with people, and then there's also like an uptick in listens, because you're like, oh, that's cool. I didn't realize this person had done a podcast. Let me check it out. And so for us, it's really cool because there's more eyes on what we're doing, more downloads, more listens. But something that's really cool. And one of my, like, honestly, I think for you and I, like, it's fun. Like, we would do the podcast regardless. We don't get that many downloads for these podcasts anyways. And we're still here, for almost 4 years later. Right. But the coolest thing for us, especially on this podcast, is this whole idea of connection and connecting with people and helping people get connected to each other. And that's what is my favorite part about this whole tournament, where people start getting connected with others that they maybe don't know. It's like, oh, interesting. I voted because of Deb, but then I saw she was competing against Josh. Let me see what Josh is doing. And then like starts following that person's business, right? Or they start following, their music or their videos, whatever they do. And so that's my favorite part. Like, some people start getting connected. And so that's why I tell people, like, if I understand some people don't want to be a part of this, and they're like, just eliminate me as soon as possible. I'm good with it. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't bother us. But some people, like if you want to get into it, it is a really simple, easy way for like a week to get some easy, simple marketing for what you're doing because your name is out there a lot over and over and over. So, that's just kind of a quick rundown. Hmm?
Advertisement for them.
Yeah, 100%. So hopefully that happens again this year. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as we do because uh, yeah, it gets wild. People really care, and you can win a belt, like a mini wrestling belt, which is awesome with your name on it. How cool is that? And then I'm thinking about there's another probably another prize this year. We'll up the stakes a little bit. I don't know, Amazon gift card. What would be a good prize, Deb? Not that this is going to be what we do, but like, what would you say like a good like Amazon is good, right?
Yeah, I think Amazon or just some cold hard cash or a bottle
Cool.
of wine. I don't know. I told you I'm not a good gift giver.
Yeah, the wine may not work. I'm not going to ship wine to someone, but we'll think. It started off really good. The cash thing was not a bad idea, but
Yeah, gift card though, I think.
okay. All right. You know what? You're right. That was my fault. I should not have asked you as a gift person.
We talked about this already.
That's true. All right, we'll figure something out. We'll put some monetary value on this as well. So you get the belt and something else. And so yeah, it'll be fun. But anyways, um, that's all I
Anyway,
have. That's all I have for that. So okay,
that'll
Deb,
be exciting. I'm excited for that though. But yes.
I know
Anyway, okay.
it's my favorite thing. So and it's gonna be yeah, your friends Jamie and Nicole will be in it. A pretty high seed as well. So
Yeah,
yep.
that's right. Okay.
Yep. So that
That'll
will
be
be
fun.
now. I can't remember how Nicole did last year, but uh yeah, her and Jamie will teamed up this year. So it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of teams this year. We got some heavy hitters too. It's gonna be an exciting one.
Yeah, that's true.
Oops, I had to spill water.
Excited.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Cool. We're
What are we
good.
talk? What are we talking about today? What are we
We,
doing?
well, it's our New Year's episode. So we're talking about favorites and a couple other questions. We basically, posted on our social media. Does anyone have any ideas for us to talk about favorite, fill in the blank of the year, I'm guessing. And so we have a few topics that we're going to talk about to kind of wrap up 2022, which is crazy. I can't believe it's going to be 2023.
I know.
I say it every year. I'm sure everyone says it everywhere. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I remember back when, oh my God, it's going to be 2002. It's like,
Right.
it's going to be 2023. Okay.
I was like
So
2000, right? 2000 was a big one because everybody thought, Y2K and things were going to shut down, and we're still here. 2020, 23 years later.
it gets crazier and crazier every year though, but
That's
we
true.
survive. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want me to start off with the first one? I wrote down what you sent me on your
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we can start. Yeah. However you want to do it. Because I know we have some different questions. Like you said, some just basic
Yeah.
normal questions and then some
Yeah.
favorite questions. So however you want to do it, I'm cool with.
Yeah, let's do the favorites first. And then if we get to mine, we'll get to mine.
Okay.
The questions for mine.
Hold on. You want to just do yours first?
Okay.
Yeah.
My sweet friends on Instagram have like the best like suggestions, but this time around they didn't read the instructions. They did. They just asked a question instead of saying a favorite, which is totally fine because we're gonna answer them anyway.
Totally fine. I did ask a couple people.
Josh got all the favorite blank suggestions, and I got just two questions, just random.
Which we're just happy to get questions because
I love it.
we're still trying to get like more engagement from the people. We have people like Paul Marshall, who's awesome. My brother Jordan's awesome. Brandon Stokely. Certain people are great about responding to stuff that we do, and the other people are like, I'm not even sure why I follow Connectable. What is this? Like, hey.
Oh my God. Okay.
What do we got?
Okay, so this is from Deb, of course, the other Deb, my bestie.
What up, Deb?
Yeah, one of them. She basically, her question is like, if I could figure out a resolution that you that you would not follow through with, and for you to guess a resolution that I would not follow through with. Because
That's
yeah,
good. I like that.
no, that's a good one. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I don't know who wants to offend who first.
My, well, mine would be
Yeah.
if if you had Josh, if you had a resolution to not make fun of me at all on the podcast ever again, you for sure would not stick to it. For sure.
Oh, I was making the face because I thought you were going to talk about how I was going to get in better shape. I wouldn't be able to stick to it.
No, are you kidding? As soon as I read that and like I had her explain it to me, with the way she worded it, I didn't get it, and she explained it to me, and I'm like, oh, for sure, I know what his could be. If
All
his
right.
resolution
Well,
is, I will be nice to Deb, and I will never make fun of her ever again on the show. There
yeah, I could.
you
Yeah.
go.
Now, yeah, that'd be interesting, huh? You know, that's it's kind of like the because I am wearing the Michael Scott sweatshirt. It's kind of like the sexual harassment episode where he comes out of the office after talking to Jan, and the corporate lawyer is like, "Hey, this is my retirement from comedy." You know, and then Jim baits him. It's my favorite scene. Like Rachel and I will rewind that if we see that episode. We'll rewind it like 5 times just because he just like bursts out like he can't contain himself. That's what it would basically be like. I would say it, and then I just don't know. I don't know how long I could do it.
Like 5 seconds,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. And luckily, like we've talked about before, Deb has a very high tolerance for uh, jokes at her expense, and she's not easily offended. So that's where I'm like, I am playing like I'm just kind of playing fast and loose. Like one day I might hit the button that just makes you lose it, and then you'll just like snap on me, which I will clip and post for everybody. But it's like, oh no, I pushed too far. But yeah, that's the problem. Like I don't want to. Here's the thing. Ultimately, yes, it's my fault. I am the one that's making fun of you. But we could make the case as actually your fault because you don't get offended that easily. Like if you would get offended more, then I would know. I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. But you don't. So I keep going. You're an enabler.
You know, if I can't uh take it, then I shouldn't dish it. So
So that's where I get in trouble though. It's like some people are like, she doesn't really dish it that much towards you, Josh. I'm like, yeah, no, now I feel like a bully. But you're right. So
okay.
you can be mean to me. It would probably
um
make my life. See, that's what you do every time. You do that weird thing with your hands. I don't know what that is.
the halo.
Oh, I see now. That's not true. But okay. See, I can't get through it. I'll try one of these days. I'll do a
Exactly. Exactly. So that's my resolution. That's you could not follow. So I think I
yeah,
hit the
100% right. 100% right. Okay, perfect. Well, we're in the same boat, Deb, because mine would also be podcast related. And I think you're at this point, you're well below a 50% attendance rate. It is not good. So I would say, like, even if I think your goal of like even doubling your appearances on this podcast for a year is very unattainable. And here's the problem. And this is the problem for both of us. If we're really honest, neither one of these things bothers us. Like you're like, he's not gonna be able to not make fun of me. Yeah, you're 100% right. I don't care. And you're like, I'm like, she's never gonna come to a podcast, like more than I don't know, 75%, if that, during the year. And you're like, okay, cool. 75% a C. It's all good. It's still passing. So, but yeah,
when I was talking to Deb, I literally called that. I said, I know what Josh is gonna say, and I know what I'm gonna say. He's gonna say I'm not gonna come on the podcast as often as I'm supposed to.
yeah, no, it's
I got it right.
you did get it right. Well done. Yeah, no, I yeah. She's like, I'm gonna be at the podcast more. Okay, okay, sure. I don't believe you.
It'll last
So
just like yours, 5 seconds, and that's it.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like, hey, I'll be there next week, and then it's like, hey, I have plans next week. Can you just hold this one down? Sure, Deb, not a problem. That's good. I like that. That was a good question.
Yeah, that was good. So thanks, Deb, or Dilly. I call her Dilly. That was a good one.
Thanks, Deb. That was awesome. I also, before we leave this topic, I do want to say too that some people, because I mentioned in our Christmas episode, that people have kind of started to understand this idea of you not being there. It's a very likely possibility that when they show up for this podcast, you're not going to be there. It used to be back in the day, they're like, hey, where's your co-host? Don't you have a co-host? I'm like, yeah, she couldn't be here. Now it's like, so what are we talking about today? Like, they don't even ask about you anymore, Deb. And then the times you do come up, they laugh. I
Like, oh,
make fun of you, and they laughed. And some people are like, uh, you're like a ghost, or not a ghost. You're like a myth, a legend. They're like, huh, I've seen her on the posts sometimes. I'm sure she really exists, but I've never met her. I'm like, yeah, it's not uncommon. A lot of our guests have never met Deb. So these are lovely people that you would probably have a great conversation with, but you just continue to pass on by. So, anyways,
it's like a ghost in the night.
yep, the ginger ghost.
Exactly.
See, go ahead.
Feral cat, I come and go as I please.
That's right.
So the other question is from my best friend's boyfriend. His name is Baha. So thanks, Baha.
Oh, that's an awesome name.
No,
Like BAGA or BAJA?
It's actually BAHA.
BA. That works too. Doesn't make it any less cool.
I know, right? So this is a soccer question since the World Cup just ended.
Uh-oh.
I know. Does Messi solidify the debate of who is the greatest of all time of this generation with his win of the World Cup? Now, I watched the final game. I didn't really watch anything else. I do play indoor soccer. Does that mean I know soccer? Hell no. Does that mean I know any professional players? No, I don't know anybody. I barely learned who this Messi guy was. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. But it was
I feel
France.
like that was disrespectful. This
I
Messi
don't.
guy?
Is that how you say it?
No, 100%. But you just call it, yeah, this. I don't even know who this Messi
I
guy
don't
is.
know. I didn't like. I see it. I've seen it written many times, but I'm like, is it Messi or Messi? I don't know. I guess it's Messi. I'm sorry. He's not going to listen to this. It's okay.
Oh.
He won't need being disrespectful. Anyway, I watched the game. It was a really, really good game. Solidified the debate of who is the greatest of the GOAT of this generation. I mean, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I don't know past players or anything else. I will tell you that so Messi's on Argentina, right? And so the other team, France, I think this guy is the GOAT, and people may not agree with me because I don't know anything about soccer. This is just the one game that I watched ever. But from France, I don't even know how to say his name. Kylian, but I don't know how to say his last name. Mbappe. He basically carried the team. He got a hat trick, and he scored. I think he scored one of the overtime penalty kicks, and you can only score. Why are you laughing? He did so good. I was so focused on that guy for France. I'm like, oh, this guy's like scored all the goals, did everything he could for this team. So I was focused on that guy. So I don't know if Messi was the GOAT. I'm sure he is. They're amazing, but that guy from France, just like, I was like, wow, that guy.
All right.
I don't
Well, we
know.
appreciate all you soccer fans who are no longer listening to our show. Thank you for holding on as long as you did. But I imagine that after that, what you just heard her say,
No.
not that I can add much to it, but I'm not even sure what Deb was just talking about. Like, you just said so many things in a very short amount of time. But so some dude from France, and you're not sure if it's Messi or Messi, and he might be the GOAT, some guy. That's all right. Okay, perfect.
Moving on from that question. Sorry, Baha, we don't have a clear answer on that one.
Sorry, man. Like I said, I think I've said this on this podcast before. I'm not a soccer guy. I wish I was. I have a tough time. I've tried watching the World Cup and I've tried watching soccer before. I just can't get into it. I wish I could because I appreciate what the World Cup means. I appreciate how intense the fandom is for the World Cup and how it's just a different thing. Like it's something that you don't see for sports here. Like, and people who love football teams, basketball teams, baseball teams, whatever the sport may be, are diehard fans here. But it doesn't even compare to soccer fans around the world. Like it's just a different level of fandom, excitement, intensity. So I appreciate all of that. However, I can't get into soccer as much as I've tried. I played for a while when I was younger, but just never. It was never my passion, and so I still can't get into it. But so I couldn't even. I don't even feel comfortable properly or answering your question properly because I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think it's dope that he's ending his career that way. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no better way to end a career. So that alone is pretty cool. And I did see this on on Instagram. He beat the Drake curse, so that is pretty impressive. And I'm not super familiar, but I believe it's because when Drake's in the stands for your game, you know, it can
Oh,
not always be
really?
the best thing. Yeah,
What?
yeah. I
Such
think so. I haven't looked too much into it, but I did see that, and I know the Drake curse is a thing for sports. I don't know, like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of it. I can't really remember what that entails, but he did beat it, so that alone could make him the goat. So,
my
uh,
God.
so shout out to Baja. I'm very sorry, but
We'll just
if
say
any
that.
soccer fans are listening, let us know in the comments, and
Yeah.
then
Well,
tag Baja.
yeah, and yeah, you guys will probably know more than we do. Maybe I think he is the GOAT, but that guy from France just kicked ass. That's all I have to say.
Shout out to the guy from France too.
It's like going for it. But okay, well,
All right.
there's that. Those, those were my questions that I got on my
Oh,
end.
we should never talk about soccer again. Okay, because we don't know anything except for you play. You do play indoor soccer.
Yeah. I mean, very loosely, yes.
Yeah, but you've also told stories about how you're basically like a bowling ball in there and you're just running into people.
Yeah, it's just like a hockey game, basically. It's a battle of like getting slammed up against a wall constantly.
There we go. See,
Falling over. Yeah, getting trucked by the goalie. Like that's what happened to me last week. Oh my God. I got trucked and I have like a turf burn on my leg. It
did
was
you hit him back?
no, I just get up and keep going.
Okay. No vengeance for Deb.
Yeah. No vengeance. I scored a goal, so there's my vengeance.
Oh, nice. All right. That works. You got your revenge. I like it.
Yep.
All right. We're gonna move on. Like no more soccer because this is getting worse and worse. So okay. So yeah, we have a couple of favorite questions. So the thing that we put out there was we wanted to hear from people. This is actually an idea that I got from Jordan. So I got to give him credit. He said like 2022 superlatives. I'm like, I don't even know what superlative means, Jordan. So you're gonna have to explain this to me. And so I had to look it up. But basically, some of our favorite things like for the year of 2022. And so we got some suggestions because we took it to Instagram. And like I said, you can talk back. We appreciate it. We like hearing from you guys. So we just got a few questions. Some from my brother, some from one from Brandon Stokely, and then one from my wife as well, because they all felt bad for our show. It's like you guys aren't getting any engagement. So here you go. Um, so let's start off here. Brandon Stokely, I actually saw Brandon Stokely and his wife. I met his wife for the first time. I've seen her on Instagram,
Okay.
but I actually met her. I was shopping at Target. And I saw him and his wife there. So shout out to you guys. It was fun actually
Crazy.
connecting with you guys in the real world. So,
Nice.
anyways,
Isn't
this
that
is
crazy how we randomly run into our guests and like how you ran into Daniel and
yep.
yeah, that's crazy. And
Daniel and his wife
then
who
I
had
ran
their baby not too long ago. Shout out to you guys.
then I ran into Travis Cole
Yep.
and Bree.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
I
Anyway.
thought there was one other person, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's fun. That's the whole point of this podcast is getting connected
Oh,
with people.
oh, and freaking Isaac is my boxing instructor. One of
Oh
them.
yeah, Isaac Coles.
Him
Love Isaac Coles.
continue to run into him, but that's yeah. So
See all these connections. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna stop
okay.
getting off track. So Brandon's question or his I guess favorite prompt was, "What is your favorite clothing brand of 2022?"
Okay. I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, sure.
Rebellia, which is no longer a clothing brand company.
So this will be your last time to mention Rebellia for 2022.
Still wear all of the Rebellia brand clothing. So Rebellia is a clothing company ran by Crystal Rose, who was on our podcast, and I'm on hers like on a kind of regular basis.
Hmm.
But yeah, Rebellia, she's taking a break, so I'm not on it right now. It's okay. I can pay attention to you now and Connectable now. So
Okay, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna gather my thoughts for a second because Deb says again. I've said this before. I think Deb thinks I'm dumb. I really do because she says these things like it's gonna just like slide right past me. No, Deb, that does not count. That's like saying, "Hey, I promise not to cheat right now because the person I'm cheating on you with is out of town. So don't worry, we're good for 5 weeks. Unless they come back early, then we're gonna break this agreement." That's what it feels like when you say that, Deb. It doesn't mean anything. And how does it feel to say like I'm a regular on someone else's podcast, not even a regular on your own podcast? What are we doing here?
I think it's about equal because I'm on hers twice a month.
Again, I think you said that you said that to make me feel better. It did not work. It makes me feel worse.
Well, yeah, I got nothing.
You know, you're right. You have nothing. There's nothing you could say because all you do is laugh. When I say these things, she just laughs. Like if anybody's only listening to the audio, you realize when I say these things, you don't hear her. It's not because she's like trying not to defend herself, because she is just laughing and she has no words to say right now. That's what's happening. She always covers her mouth like hee hee. That's what she does all the time. And it's offensive. That's all I'm gonna say.
Rebellia is my favorite clue. Okay, sore subject. Okay, you tell me your favorite
That
clothing
would be
brand.
my other resolution that I couldn't keep. It's like, uh, don't get jealous about you and Crystal Rose.
Yeah,
You know, I like Crystal too, but
just a
hurts
little
me.
jealousy there. I know it's okay.
No, it's not a little jealousy. It's a lot of jealousy, Deb.
So I'm guessing your favorite clothing brand is not Rebellia.
No, it's not Rebellia. Okay, no, it's not Rebellia. Do they have
Uh,
men's clothes?
no, this is a woman empowerment only company, Rebellia. Sorry.
All right. Well, yeah, no, I can't offer. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't offer that to you. All right. So no, my favorite clothing brand. It's a brand that I've been wearing for a while now, and I just love the feel of it, and I love the options they have. It's Built, BYLT. I love their clothes, partially because I feel like their clothes make me seem less fat, even when I am, which I appreciate. It has like what I mean, like certain clothes, the way they fit, it fools the people, and I appreciate that. It doesn't fool me. Like I know it's underneath, but everybody else are like, "Huh, that's a nice shirt," and you seem like you've gotten. Are you in shape? Or have you gotten in better shape? Mm-mm. Nope. I'm just wearing a t-shirt that's more flattering, and so, yeah, Built would be my company for 2022.
Nice.
Yep.
Optical illusion clothing. Nice.
Yes, basically that's what it is. 100%.
Nice.
Okay, so we got the next one is, I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. Well, let's just do this one real quick. So my brother Jordan submitted a couple questions. One of them was your favorite time in 2022 that Deb has verbally attacked a dude online. What do you
Which one
think, Deb?
should we pick?
We got some options.
Should we pick the one that I did this week? Is that what
Oh,
we're talking about?
oh, are you talking about the Venmo thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. That's not my favorite. Let me say this. My favorite is easily the bikini one,
Bikini.
because that was the first time that you had like I said, I was scrolling
Yeah.
and I saw that you had. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening at first, and I'm like, okay, she's posting something, and there's like another video, another video. I'm like, wait, what is she doing? And so then I went back because there was like a thread of videos on your stories. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. It caught my attention, and I realized, oh, she is fired up about something, and so I did enjoy that one because it still comes up on our show every once in a while. And so, and that's also when I realized that you would, your progression of sharing these stories starts with online that goes to a podcast and another podcast. And then by the time you're either on Crystal's podcast or Not Here to Judge, it's just like a full blown, like, screw that guy. You know what I mean?
Just verbal assaults.
Yeah. So that's my favorite. But what do you got? What's yours? What's the
That was
one that
it.
just happened?
Well, that was going to be my top pick too. And then I almost forgot about the one that just happened this week. So I don't know if
Sure.
Jordan's even referring to that one, but I don't know. But I'm like, oh, that's like,
Well, I think the
that's,
fact that Jordan asked this question means that there's been a couple.
there's
And
been a
so
couple. Yes.
there's also the guy from the club.
Yeah, the one from the club too. That was a
Like,
good one.
let
Yeah.
me in. Let me in with my three friends. Like that guy. I don't know if that's how he talks, but that's how I picture it. Because he sounded like a baby.
Yeah, no. So this week was so I'm me trying to make this story as short as possible. I'll try my best. But one of my friends basically sent a Venmo, like sent money to a guy who the name was very similar, almost exactly the same, minus a couple of letters or whatever. It just was different. $140 for a toy drive. So this is like a charity thing, right?
Sure.
Um, and it went to the wrong person, and she immediately was like, oh my, because she asked her other friend, hey, did you get it? And he's like, no. And she's like, well, is this you? She's like, and he's like, no, that's not me. And she's like, oh. And so she messaged that guy and said, hey, I'm so sorry, I sent it to the wrong, this name, insert the name here. Can I please have it back? I'm so sorry. And you can request money instead of just also pay. Do you have Venmo?
Yeah.
And so she requested it too. He ignored her, he denied her request, and he blocked her. So
Hmm.
then, so she's telling me and a couple of our friends a few nights ago, actually, and we're like, what? And so I was like, let me find him on Venmo. And I was like, is this him? And she's like, yeah. And so I requested it too. And I just said toy drive in the subject. He denied it. Then two of my other friends did it. He denied it. And so, so I posted it, and I had a screenshot of his name before. I don't know if he blocked me. So I posted his name. So I
Sure.
blasted his Venmo name basically, and just said, hey, this guy won't give my friend her money back for a toy drive that she accidentally sent to him. Can everyone else, if you want to help out, that'd be great. And so it soon became, and then I posted a lot of my friends who knew her, and they reposted it.
Yeah.
So, and then I had to put a disclaimer a few posts later, because I'm like, oh, what if people get really angry and start, I don't know, I don't want anything bad to happen to this guy. We just want her money back. So I just said, hey, please, no death threats, you guys. Just ask for the money back. That's that's it. Because my friends who reposted it are like, oh my gosh, you guys, people are saying, we can find out where he lives and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, no. And I'm like, just ask for the money. They just
Yeah.
out of control, right?
Kind
And
of, but okay. But it's not the best mentality. That's kind of on him for being a
yeah,
douche.
yeah, right. Well,
You run
so
that risk. Not saying he should die. I'm just saying, like, you are running the risk when you do something like that.
well, okay, so let's fast forward. It took one day. He got harassed so much by so many people that he finally unblocked my friend today. I
Mm-hmm.
posted this yesterday. We're recording, on December 20th. And today he unblocked her and said, hey, sorry, your people blew me up so much. I'm just going to give you your money back. And then he tried to say his excuse was he thought it was a scam or something. And so
You thought
that's
the scam was that they would send you $140 and then ask for it
why
back?
it's basically.
That person's an idiot. Like, just give the money back. No, at that point, just say, like, hey, here it is. What?
Yeah. So that's, I don't know if you call that if that's one of the verbal attacks that Jordan was talking about, but that was probably my favorite, just because
That is a good one.
it wasn't just me who attacked him, but it was several other people just blew up his Venmo asking for the money back over and over and over again. So he gave it back. And the funny part was he actually gave her 160 back, and she gave him 20 back because she's like, nope, I just want my 140. Here you
Yeah.
go. Merry Christmas.
Nice try. Yeah. That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. That's a good story. There was a purpose behind it. Was it? I wouldn't say it's a verbal attack, but it was justice was served, which is
That's
awesome.
exactly. So
Yeah.
anyway,
That's dumb. I thought it was a scam. Please. You know what a scam is. I
yeah.
get scams in my DMs on Instagram all the time. It's like, hey, Free nudes? No, like I'm good. I don't need this. You know what I mean? Always
Here's some
misspellings.
money. Here's some money, and it's also already in your Venmo account. How is that a scam if it's already in your account?
I dare you to send it back. I'm gonna get you that way. Like what? Get out of here. What
Right?
a what a
Anyway,
dummy. He was clearly too stupid to think of it a good excuse too. So
it was a win-win. I got
very
to
nice.
verbally attack a guy online, and justice was served. So
There we go. Well done. So that's a good one. I like that one.
that was
It's
good.
also nice that Deb has a reputation of just beating down men online.
Sorry. Yeah. I hate to be sexist, but I will only beat down men online. I will never beat up a woman.
Okay.
So women got to stick together.
There you go. All right. So, ladies, you're safe. Men, be careful. Be careful around Deb.
Okay. And people ask why I'm still single. So,
Who's that?
ta-da.
Never mind. Never mind.
What are you gonna say?
It doesn't matter. Anyways, let's keep it moving. I really, this not making fun of you resolution thought was
See?
really messing with my head. So, okay, let's move on. So, so my wife, Rachel, was, her question was, she's like, I'm just going to keep it super simple. Favorite TV show? What has been your favorite TV show of 2022?
Oh,
You cannot say One Tree Hill.
no.
No,
But like I'm trying to find a current TV show. I don't so like The Office is just my all-time. Like still
yeah,
it's to this day. I don't actually watch it a ton anymore, but I
that's
had
the Lionel Messi of TV.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So uh, favorite TV show. You tell me yours while I just ponder a few more minutes because I'm having a hard time finding one. Because what I've been doing, I guess, basically all year, like I watch miniseries like this Meghan and Harry show, and then like I loved the series You, but there's only 3 seasons. I don't even know if the fourth season is coming out. Like I can't find a long-standing season yet. And the shows that I do watch are just like noise, like in the background, just while I'm
sure.
like winding down for the day. So that's been Sex in the City. Sometimes it's Grace and Frankie, The Office. Um, Finally tried to sit down and watch Yellowstone. Still on season 1. So we're getting there.
That was the face. That was the face and the tone of someone who's just having a real tough time with the animal part of it. Still, am I right?
Trying so hard to stay in it. It's hard because I live right. If people were like constantly with me and like watching things with me, I might get into it more. But when I'm by myself, I can't watch certain shows by myself. I just lose interest. And if it has a lot to do with like shooting people and killing people and shooting animals and animals die, like I just can't. Like I can't, like I can't.
Sure.
I just like I'm like this is not interesting anymore, and no one. It's just weird. So it takes me a second to like get into shows like that. I don't know. Otherwise I'd rather watch dramas or some thrillers are good, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
that makes sense. That's fair. Also, it seems like based on previous conversations, people don't necessarily want to watch TV shows with you because you ask so many questions. So you are in a really tough spot there. So, yeah, that makes sense though. I get that. Some of those shows are not as fun to watch, like you said, if you're not watching with someone, or if you don't, I hate to say even enjoy that. You probably none of us should really probably enjoy those types of things, but uh, that's what I watch. So
I love the characters though, so I just need to push through some of the episodes.
that's
Need to
true.
but yeah.
You could be Beth for
I
Halloween one year. You got the hair already.
Beth is like my spirit animal so far. So like I just need to keep watching.
She's
See
wild.
what else she does. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's brutal. She's brutal. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, no, I love Yellowstone.
she's the only motivation right now for me to keep watching it, basically.
Oh, she's fun to watch all the time, every season. So yeah, keep it up. Also let me know what you think. But uh, yeah, so for this year, I'll say this: the two that really stick out to me for this year, and I hope this one. I'm pretty sure this was 2022. The Bear, which I've mentioned on this
Oh,
podcast
yeah.
before.
Okay.
It's on Hulu, but it's about a restaurant in Chicago,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's awesome. They serve Italian sandwiches in Chicago, and it's about this guy who takes over this shop for his brother who passed away, and all of the craziness. But just the way it's shot, the way it's filmed, uh, the dialogue, just it's a wild show. And people have said too that if you've ever worked in the restaurant industry, it's pretty solid. Like it definitely brings some it gives PTSD to some people because they're like, this is too real. So it's only 6 episodes, I think. So really short, but that was good. I really enjoyed that one.
Nice.
Um, my wife and I really enjoyed that. And then the other one that sticks out was one that I just finished up, and it's one that my brothers and I are all into. And it's White Lotus on
Oh,
HBO.
okay. I'm watching that right now too, slowly but surely. Yeah.
Okay, the first season or second?
First,
Oh,
I'm
the first.
slow at watching things and
Okay.
stick.
Okay.
Try, but
So
yeah.
they just wrapped up the second season, and that was really good. That uh, kept my interest, like week in week out. You know, just like one of those shows. There's so many theories, so many different thoughts, so many possibilities of what could be happening, and all that. So I really enjoyed that one as well.
Okay.
So those would probably be my two. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, let me jump in and say I just am checking to see if there's a second season coming out because I hate when I find a good show and there's only one season and they never re-sign and nothing. And I'm like, ugh, what? And
That
I'm
does
just
suck. Yeah, I've been there before.
right. So Tell Me Lies. It's very like it's very because it's about college kids. I think I've talked about this before
Mm-hmm.
anyway. It's drama. It's very like I guess because it's college, so it's like high schoolish, I guess. But it's interesting just because there's like some mystery involved and there's some WTF moments involved. And this one definitely kept me every night. I watched an episode every night. The next night I watched one. Like I stayed focused on this one
Sure.
for whatever reason. And I think it reminds me of like when, and I say used to because I haven't in a while, but when I used to write books for fun, like that would be the type of I guess that would be the type of book I would write.
Sure.
All kinds of things happening, or at least the type of book I would like to write someday. Um so they are gonna
You still have a book that's like half written or three quarters written?
it's done, it's just not edited.
That's
So
right. That's right. It's done.
yeah, it's done. It's not fully edited. I haven't looked at it in years. So
Is
one of these days.
sorry, not to completely derail this conversation, but when you because you said it's similar to like Tell Me Lies or shows like that because it's been such a long time since you've like even really looked at your book and edited it, all that stuff. When you see shows like this, does it make you rethink like certain parts of your book? Like, you know what I'm saying? Does it make you think like, oh, that's an interesting idea. Like I would like to rework this specific part, or oh man, this seems really similar to what happened here. Maybe I want to change it, or maybe just you know what I'm saying. Like, do you ever get inspired or like prompted to kind of switch things up because you see that?
I would get inspired to write just like start a new one. Like
Gotcha.
not change anything about one I've already written, but just like just start a whole nother one.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. But because my first book I wrote took place in a college setting, I think that's why this show reminds me of it. But
We should
anyways.
do a giveaway with your books.
Okay.
Now it's risky. It's risky because if it's risky because if no one uh jumps into the giveaway and then then it's just hurtful.
I know, right?
It's like
I would not take any offense when people still to this day people still ask me. I'm like, it's like a even like when I'm going on dates and I try to, we're getting to know each other. And I say, oh, and I wrote a book one time, and they're like, what? And they like want to read it, and I'm like, it's like it's a girly book. I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna like it. Is what I try to say. It's not like I can't picture a grown man reading the first book that I wrote because it's about a girl in college and all of her girl issues that she goes through.
all
It's
right,
not
so
something. I do not do good advertising for myself, obviously.
We discussed this in the Christmas episode. You don't do great advertising for our podcast either. We're not going to go back into that because I understand your reasoning for
Oh,
why you don't. But again, you're 100% right. The advertising is no good. And I do feel like I want to get your book, and I feel like I should read it, and we should break it down on this podcast. How
mhm.
many pages is it? How quickly?
It's fun. That's the second question I always get is how many pages? I don't know, but it's over 80,000 words. That's all my brain can tell you because that's what my
My
goal is to
gosh.
write a book. So I think this one's like 90,000 or 100,000 words. Page wise, I don't know, like
Okay.
the pages. I don't know.
All right. I think I want to do that for this upcoming year. I think I'm going to order your book, and I think I'm gonna ask you questions about it.
I haven't read it in a long time.
Perfect. Okay.
I'll be like, oh, yeah, that happened in the book.
All right. This is gonna happen. All right. This is gonna
I
happen.
think I published it in 2017, 2016 or 2017. I think it was
Okay.
it's a long time ago. Anyway,
Okay.
and the other one's not even published. Maybe that'll be my New Year's goal is to finally get that one done.
Okay.
The box. So you
Okay.
can I would actually that one would be more interesting. The first one is like young and this one's more adultish. The second one. I don't know.
Okay. We'll see. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna read this book, and then we're gonna have an episode about the book. And it's like a like inside the actor's studio for an author. It's like, so Deborah, what were you thinking with this character's decision making? Yeah, we'll do this. We'll break it down like an English class.
I
Okay.
did not ask for this, but okay.
No, you
All
didn't
right.
have to. You didn't have to. So okay, so that was TV shows, and and I also can I say this too? I don't believe that you just like casually like on dates and stuff like that. I don't believe that you just casually mention that. Oh, I wrote a book. I think you're flexing on these dudes. Yeah, I wrote a book. What do you think about that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I picture it. This is not like a.
Like
She makes it seem like a passive thing. Like, oh, I wrote a book. Yeah, right. You probably slam on the table. Boom. Read it.
read it.
Yeah.
Read it in 2 days or we're done. That's like a deal breaker for me. If you can't read fast.
Some guy's like, I got to learn how to read first. That's gonna take up a whole day. All right. So all right. So another one. This was actually one that my wife and my brother both said separately. So that was interesting.
Oh.
It's kind of a general question, but what has been your favorite moment of 2022?
I don't know if you call this a moment. It's more of several moments, but when I went to Europe,
Yeah.
so cool. For sure, the highlight of my year going to
Mm-hmm.
Europe for 10 days over spring break. So
Awesome. Yeah.
led a couple of days into my work days, but that's okay. But
I
it
didn't
was
hear that.
amazing. That's okay. Who cares?
Yeah.
It was amazing. Best money I've ever spent. Um, and my friends had to convince me to go on the trip while I was drinking beer. So I was half in my mind, half out of my mind, but I'm really glad I did it because I have a hard time spending a lot of money on myself if it's a big chunk. I just happened to be in the position where that summer, I had made, a good amount of money because they're paying summer school teachers a lot because no one wants this job anymore teaching.
Sure.
So
Sure.
lots of monetary incentives. So I jump on it. So anyway, I was just in a position to be able to do it, and I did, and it was so incredible. So
That's
you're up.
awesome. Very cool.
What was yours?
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know if I couldn't think of a specific moment. I mean, I think, you know, it feels like in this current stage of life, because of the age of my daughters, it's kind of just feels like it's built up of all these different little moments, milestones that they hit, funny things that they do, fun memories that we create. You know, going on a couple of vacations with them, and just some of the funny things that they do. Um, is you know those are, I mean, obviously those are a lot of moments, but those are definitely at the top of my list. I couldn't even pinpoint one specific moment from all of that I would think, oh yeah, this is by far my favorite. But anytime. It's just like I said, it's fun, as challenging as it can be, as obviously as time consuming as being a parent is. It's still like it's so much fun, the interactions you have with the kids and the way you see them develop and then the bonds you create. um those are all just awesome moments and memories for me, and then trying to make the most of those things. So that's just like a very broad answer. I'm sure I could think of specific things that each one of them has done that were a lot of fun or really funny. They're both super funny, and the timing that they say things is pretty good. Sometimes they say things at the wrong time, which makes it funnier. But yeah. So I mean, I could probably point to a bunch of those things. It's hard to pinpoint like a specific moment. Um, but I will say this because it was something that my wife brought up that just happened recently, and I know I shared it on this podcast. Was the crab dick story was uh, really fun.
Oh my God. I told my coworkers, by the way, they died. They were
Oh,
laughing
good.
so hard, especially the boys. I made sure to go and tell them.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, it was a wild thing. So I mean, obviously that's not like like I said, that's my favorite moment of this year in my life, but it was definitely memorable. And yeah, that was just, in fact, I didn't tell you this, but on TikTok, that the audio from that video was removed at one point.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't understand why. Cause I'm like, when I first joined TikTok for the podcast, there's some wild stuff on TikTok. I'm like, you're telling me, because I said crab dick, where like the audio is removed. I've seen some wild stuff that doesn't even compare to that story. You've got to be joking me. And then luckily they had like a little button to appeal it. So I appealed it and they're like, hey, so sorry, you're good now. So it's back. But it's definitely our most viewed TikTok video that we've done. Yeah.
You know what? It makes sense that so when I watch some TikToks, sometimes the audio will have words to it,
Yeah.
while they're talking. And so the words, you're saying it, but the word's different. Like let's say someone says the word sex.
Yeah.
The word is spelled SEGGS, like segs.
Yeah.
So they spell it differently.
Right. Right. Right.
It's not removed, so you can't remove it, I guess. But I think people find their way around it, but or they appeal it like you do. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there is, yeah,
Yeah.
as you know, TikTok's a wild place. This is not the worst thing that's happened here. I know that for a fact. But for some reason, and like I said, it happened quickly, so it was all good. But yeah,
We're not exactly an X-rated podcast. So
no, not so much, not so much.
Girls Gotta Eat is. That's
Yes, that one's a little different.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Some of the
I
podcasts that we listen to, uh, yeah, very different, and very different than ours. More successful than ours too.
Yeah, right. I'm actually going to, so Girls Gotta Eat, they do, here's something we could do, Josh. I'm just kidding, but this is an idea. They do live shows. They do literally. They're a little more popular than we are, but they do
That's
they
an
do
understatement, but yeah,
they
go
do,
ahead.
they do these shows and they're finally coming to Sacramento in March.
Oh,
And I
nice. Are they going
grabbed
to Punchline?
no, they're going to the Crest.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. They posted this, I think in October. I was like waiting by my phone. This is how I'm such a nerd. I'm such a fangirl of them. And I'm waiting for the tickets to go live
Yeah,
because like early access, whatever. They
yeah.
went live trying to grab I was trying to message my friends, hey, who would want to go to the show with me? I'm gonna grab tickets. Some of them are like, man, who is that? Like, oh, okay, I guess I will, whatever. But when I was done trying to search for seats, I could only find two next to each other. Like that's how fast they were going. And
Really?
it was on the floor. It's like the third row.
Oh,
And it was
wow.
not expensive. Like it's like
That's
80.
cool.
And so I grabbed two and I was like, sorry. And I'm making Deb go with me. She like has no choice. I'm like, you're coming with me. She's like,
That's
what is
awesome.
this? And I was like, it's the podcast I listen to. She's like, oh, okay. So that's my treat to her. She gets to come with me. But
That's funny. So I haven't listened to their podcast, but one of the podcasts I listened to, actually two of the podcasts I listened to, they were guests on, and
Mm,
so I got kind of a taste of what they do. And so and they're both, one of them's a comedian,
yeah, yeah,
one of them's a
Ashley,
stand-up, the other one's not, though, right?
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
Ashley, stand-up comedian, and Raina is just like her co-host and does the live shows with her.
She's a podcast co-host. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, they're super funny.
They're
Yeah.
so
The
great.
two 'cause I listened to them on Chris Stefano's podcast.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
they
and
make okay.
he's
Yeah,
hilarious. I haven't had a chance to see him do stand up yet live, but I hope to, because he's so funny. He's a wild guy.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that's awesome. That'll be a fun show. When is that?
When is it?
Yeah,
March. Like in the middle of March.
very
From
cool.
yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm gonna nerd out. Super excited. Anyway,
So wait, hold
um,
on. Was your suggestion that we do a live podcast?
no, it's a show, not a live podcast. They don't it's a show. Like they have strippers sometimes, they have gift giveaways. I don't know what, like they just have, it's just like a crazy, like they call it a live show. So it's not
Interesting. Okay,
it's not a live
not a
podcast.
live podcast.
Yeah, no, it's just a show.
Okay,
And
so were you suggesting that we do a live show for this podcast? Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. It's a wild thought, but okay. You'd have to show up more often to even consider something like this, but okay.
touche.
That's awesome. Well, that'd be cool. That would be a fun show for sure.
So I'll keep you posted.
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah, well, these were fun questions.
Yeah. Oh, so actually, I had two more.
I was gonna say we have more, don't we? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, two more, and we'll get out of here. This is gonna be a long episode. There's been a lot of nonsense on this one, so we'll try to hurry this up so you can get out of here and go to sleep or watch One Tree Hill, whatever. Oh no, I'm sorry. Harry and Meghan. Is that right?
Harry and Meghan, yes. Oh, it's so good. Do
I
you
can't. No, I could not care any less.
I could not care less. The only reason why I'm watching it is because they left. They left the royal kingdom, and I'm like, ooh, they broke the rules. These are my besties. And so now I'm watching it.
Hey, I'll tell you this. They could have left, stayed. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not watching it.
They are
Yeah.
rebels, my people. I'm
There
just
you
kidding.
go. All right. Well, we'll wrap this up so you can go watch that, because that was, again, that did not sell me at all. So, what is your, for 2022, favorite drink? Have you
Okay.
had a do you have a drink that, like, kind of uh that's from Jordan? Does it kind of, ebb and flow? Sometimes obviously you like one drink more than another, or you're kind of in a, like, a zone with a certain drink. Do you have something like that?
So I have a non-alcoholic one and an alcoholic one.
Okay.
That's
Let's
what
hear
this,
it.
but non-alcoholic, I'm so boring. Water. Sorry, I don't drink anything else. I don't drink soda. I don't drink juice. I don't really drink Gatorade or Powerade. I'll have a Celsius before boxing. Sometimes I haven't lately.
Okay.
Um, I just drink a ton of water. I have
All
a
right.
big
I'm not sure that one counts, but
I don't know. I don't have, I'm just so boring. I just don't, like, in my fridge right now, I probably have two little mini diet Pepsis, like the tiny, tiny ones, but
okay.
as a friend left them here.
I was
So like,
said that doesn't sound like a purchase. That sounds like an accident.
yeah, right. So I just drink water. I'm so boring.
Water is delicious though. It's not a bad choice. I'm just saying, I don't know if it counts for the specific question, but
Water
there you
and beer.
go. I'm out, actually.
Alcoholic wise, just, I feel like I have more variety in that category.
Okay.
Seltzers. I mean, I'm always talking about the Trulies.
Sure. I was gonna say, seems like this is an easy choice, but obviously that's just what we see on the podcast. So
they're it's bubbly, it's light, it's not, it doesn't, yeah, seltzers. I don't know. But LaCroix's, I guess if I could choose a favorite non-alcoholic drink, LaCroix, because they have the carbonation and like the light flavor.
okay.
Like, I sound like an alcoholic, but I
It
like
could
them.
have it could have been a lot worse.
Correct.
You could have sat there like, oh my gosh, how do I choose? There's so many. Then it's like, okay.
Yeah. So those are my favorite drinks, I think.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Uh yeah, so I do like water, but I'm not gonna choose water. I think so. I love energy drinks. I've said this on this podcast before. I'm a big energy drink connoisseur. And I will say the one that has been my favorite recently and I would say for a good chunk of 2022 or whenever it came out this year, is those energy drinks Rain,
Oh yeah.
Reign, and the flavor specifically is rainbow sherbet. It is
Mm.
delicious. It tastes like sherbet melted down into a can. It is awesome. I love those. So that is, I would say, if I had to choose a specific drink for this year, 2022, that would definitely be it. I've had a lot of those. My recycling bin is full of them. So they're delicious.
What's it called again?
Rainbow sherbet, rain energy,
Rain. How do you spell the rain part again?
Reign.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a monster. It's a monster company. So I love Monster as well. So are they good for me? Mm-mm. Nope. But I do love it, and that would probably be my drink of choice for 2022.
Okay. All right, good to know.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yep. All right. We got one.
Yours was more exciting than mine. So
No, yours was good. I don't even know why I didn't think that you would say a seltzer, because that is a common theme on this podcast.
yeah,
Uh, haven't seen any money from it, but it is a common theme. Hopefully one day.
you know, right. Hopefully.
Hopefully. I'm not hopeful, but we'll maybe one day. Okay. The last one is, what is your favorite social media account to follow
Okay.
in 2022?
Okay. So I don't, this is why I think I was a mermaid in another life.
I
Okay.
should
So
have known. This is the way we're gonna end the year. All
it's
right.
not a mermaid account, but it's a professional shark diver account. So
Okay. Thank God. I thought if you were about to drop a mermaid account on us, I was gonna walk out. Well, I
no,
cannot believe she's about to do this.
no, way more interesting. Professional shark diver. It's her name is Andriana underscore Marine. So ANDRIANA underscore MARINE. And there's all kinds of professional shark diving accounts. I found some more, but this is the one that pops up the most for me. She's a professional shark diver, and just like I'm upset. First of all, I'm afraid of the ocean, terrified, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
obsessed with watching her swim with sharks. She like will touch them. She gives you like tips on if a shark comes at you, here's what you don't do, here's what you do. But then she'll be like, don't just go in the ocean and try to do this. I'm a professional. Like, you
Sure.
don't try to do this on your own. But she basically is an advocate for showing sharks aren't the man-eating creatures that the media and movies portray them to be. They're just the natural predators of the ocean. But if you behave a certain way, they're going to think that you're a snack. And if you behave this way, they're going to think you're a predator like them, and they leave you alone, even as a
Interesting.
so I don't know why. That's why I'm like, my friends are like, maybe you were a mermaid in another life.
Oh
Maybe
no.
you swam with sharks. Yeah, they are not helping the cause
I
by
know. They're really,
I'm
yeah,
obsessed. I'll just scroll for days watching her swim with sharks. I love it. Well, and she also brings attention to just the treatment of like ocean animals. Like
sure.
there will be fishing lines stuck in sharks' gills and around their fins, and she'll follow them as she's swimming, and she'll cut the line and let them loose and let them free. So just things like that. She just brings awareness. There's a shark that has its jaw broken because of fishing line or fishing gear
Hmm.
that ocean. And when that happens, that shark won't be able to chew her food very well, so she'll eventually die. So just things like that. Like, she's just brings attention. Maybe that's why I like it, because then it makes me not so scared of the ocean. I don't know, but
That
it's
makes
very.
sense.
I am obsessed with watching those videos.
Awesome.
Very cool.
That's interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably why. I mean, that's probably why you're fascinated by it, I would assume.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, she makes the like you make the scary thing,
Mhm.
seem more understandable, which makes sense.
I even reached out to her to see if she'll come be our guest, but I don't think she's seen it yet. She's
How many,
very.
how many followers does she have?
Let me look. Hang on.
Because I am starting to get the sense that like there's a certain number of followers that will not reach back out to us. I've
Right.
noticed that, understandably so. I get it. Not offended.
Right. Hold on. Let me see. I gotta find her now. She has 107,000.
That's kind of, yeah. I think we might be beyond that point.
She does shark and ocean conservation. So that's what, yeah, she just has all these shark videos, dives with them, swims with them. There's some regular sharks, like she has names for them.
Okay.
And yeah, I think she's in Hawaii, I think. I don't know, I could be wrong. I think that's where she is or lives or something.
You said that very well. Hawaii. Yeah, that little like extra sauce on it at the end. Very nice.
Hawaii. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Very cool. Awesome. Mine. So I have two, and one of them is more of a podcast, but I do obviously I follow them on Instagram as well, and I've been enjoying their content just in general. But uh, so that one is called it's a podcast called Are You Garbage? It's two stand up comedians, and they've just become super popular over the last year and a half. It's just a really funny premise. Like they just interview other comedians or other people, and they ask them all these questions like, "Hey, what was the name of the street where you grew up on? Hey, did you drink milk with dinner? Do you?" And it's all these questions. Then they try to decide if you're classy or if you're a garbage person, and it's very funny. And like I said, they've gotten some like now like they get some of the biggest names in comedy on their podcast, and it's just I don't know why I just love like I'm constantly showing my wife clips from this podcast because it makes us laugh so hard. And like I said, it's such a simple concept, but um, it's a really funny podcast that I really enjoy, and I enjoy following them on social media. So that would be one. But honestly, the first one that came to mind was a guy named Zach King, and he is a filmmaker, videographer, but the videos he posts are wild. Like it's this optical, not even I don't even know how you describe it. Like there's some optical illusion stuff going on, but like he does these videos and you think you're watching one thing and then it's like this completely other thing that it turns into, right? Like I'm trying to think like he'll do a video where he's in Paris, and he'll stop by the Eiffel Tower, and then it looks like he's just on his bike, and then he'll like reach over and grab the Eiffel Tower and pick it up and put it in his bike, and then it'll go away. Like it's just like video tricks like this. It's wild stuff. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I would say he's probably been one of my favorites this year for sure. Yeah.
yeah, you wonder what the tricks are, is what I would wonder. Like, how does he do that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty crazy because I feel like you try to watch it and
Yeah.
see like even after you see it a couple of times, like okay, how did he do this? And it's just the amount of time and effort that goes into this is crazy. But yeah, his videos are awesome.
He's like a video magician.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, so that would be my one of my favorite social media accounts to follow for sure.
Hold on, hold still. Right now in the YouTube video, it looks like I'm wearing the Santa hat on the shirt. Or maybe no, for me it does. Wait, hang on, I gotta take a picture.
Wait, what are we hold on, what are we
Hold
doing right now?
still. Hold
What
still because I'm
me hold
below
still?
you on the Zoom video, and it looks like I'm wearing the Santa hat. Hang on.
Wait, I'm above you?
Yeah, you're above me.
That's how you view this thing the whole time?
Hang on. It looks like, oh my God, right there. Hold still. Oh, your eyes are closed.
Well, I'm Japanese, so thanks, Deb. That's how it always is.
But look, watch. That's what it looks like.
That's
I'm wearing the hat.
what are we doing right now? Yeah, that's very oh my. This show's hit a new low. What are we doing?
I had to. That was great. I guess, yeah, I didn't realize I'm the only one who could see that. So I had to take a picture.
Oh man. You know what? Hey guys, you know what? This has been fun. This has been a fun ride. Connectable's been great. I don't know where we go from here.
You're watching the YouTube clip, you could see what I was talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend like that was your intention to get people over to our YouTube page.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, you gotta see this. Me wearing a Santa hat. All right. Well, on that note, we've been recording for a long time, Deb.
It's
So
bedtime.
we should probably wrap it up there. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to everybody. Have a great time celebrating. Be safe as always. And yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about all these things. If you have anything you want to share, any TV shows, any favorite drinks, if you have any favorite moments that you want to share, whatever it is. If you want to share what your favorite podcast is, you can let us know. That would be awesome. You don't have to say us, but if you want to, we would appreciate it. And like I said, keep an eye out for this next week. We'll start doing our guest of the year challenge. It's gonna be wild, and I can't wait to get it going. So make sure you guys are out there voting on Instagram for your favorite people. Deb, it's been a minute. Where can they follow us?
On Instagram at Connectable Podcast, Twitter at Connectable Pod. We're on TikTok at Connectable Podcast. We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube.
Boom.
Boom.
That was strong. That was very solid.
Solid.
Way to end the year on that note. Although you did the weird hat thing, we're gonna let that go because you got the social media thing down solid. So there we go.
There you go.
On that note, Happy New Year's to you guys.
Happy New Year.
We will talk to you guys in the new year. See y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable Podcast.